The great African-American poet Langston Hughes once asked us, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? My parents came here from Chile, but I've always thought of myself as a Midwestern kid who happens to speak English and Spanish. The United States is the only home that I've ever known. One day, in the 4th grade, as we recited the Pledge of Allegiance, I saw my mother's face blurred in the etched glass of our classroom door. She took me home. With tears streaming down her face, she explained that my oldest cousin, Ricardo, whom I saw every day and loved like a brother, was in jail. He had been driving home from his community college. Police pulled him over. This didn't make any sense. He was kind, caring, smart, and never got into any trouble. Lukitas, my mother explained, your cousin is here illegally. Police pulled him over and found out he's undocumented. But we must never speak of it because they will send you back too. That changed with the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. DACA, a Department of Homeland Security program, allows for undocumented individuals brought to the United States as children to receive deferment from deportation and work authorization. DACA prevented Ricardo's deportation, and it allowed him and I to pursue our education. Today, I will share the experience of a first-generation college student, undocumented immigrant, and dreamer. And I hope to show you that the American dream still lives on even when that dream is deferred. DACA recipients are sometimes known as dreamers. This is in reference to the separate Unrealized Dream Act. That piece of bipartisan legislation proposed a process to qualify alien minors for conditional and eventual permanent residency. My immigration status has placed my dreams and aspirations in a twisted seesaw of hope and despair. When I was 8, my family anxiously followed the development of the DREAM Act. My then 72-year-old grandmother, who had 5 undocumented grandchildren raised in the United States, called us crying from work when she found out the House of Representatives voted in favor of the DREAM Act. However, when that piece of legislation failed in the Senate, we believed that our American dream would remain just that, a dream. DACA deferred that dream, but it also preserved that dream, allowing for the opportunity that one day that dream could become a reality. When I was a high school student planning to attend college, my dream seemed like a raisin drying in the sun when the Trump administration announced that it would phase out DACA. However, the Supreme Court temporarily halted DACA's termination, and my hope in a dream deferred returned. DACA promotes the achievement of the American dream by allowing undocumented students to work to afford their education and work in their field once they obtain the education. And by and large, dreamers are seeking the opportunities education can provide. Currently, more than 250,000 dreamers are enrolled in higher education. When DACA recipients receive work authorization, they become your paramedics, your teachers, your firefighters, or like my cousin Ricardo, your engineers. Often, we refer to America as the land of opportunity. This country was founded by people chasing opportunity, by political renegades looking for liberty, by God-fearing people escaping religious persecution, and by second sons who would inherit nothing under English common law. However, we can't let the beautiful hide the ugly. For every religious refugee, an indentured servant landed on colonial shores. For every political renegade, a native lost an entire culture to genocide. And for every second son, a person was stripped of their humanity and shipped across the Atlantic in chains as nothing more than cargo. So, the United States was not the land of opportunity for all. At least, not at the start. But over time, access to education has begun to layer the bricks for a path away from inequity, a path that is paved with opportunity. DACA, which allowed me and thousands of others to pursue our education, was such a brick laid on this path. But this path is old. By opening the doors to our schoolhouses and universities, everything from Brown versus Board of Education to Title IX has laid a brick on the path to the American ideal of opportunity. The value in this is that nothing creates opportunity like education. Of course, education creates opportunities that lead to financial benefits. However, the opportunities created by education also lead to a sense of accomplishment, identity, and purpose, conditions under which humans grow and flourish. However, most importantly, education allows us to create opportunities for our communities. According to the U.S. Department of Education, Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are still underrepresented in higher education. When we pursue our education, we set the expectations, build the opportunities, and forge the path for future generations that look like us. So, when our dreams seem deferred because of what we look like, what language we speak, or where we were born, the first thing to do is figure out who and what we are fighting for. After DACA prevented Ricardo's deportation, he continued his education. As undocumented immigrants, we can't receive government grants, loans, or assistance to pay for college. So it was really, really expensive for my cousin to go to school. He's an incredibly smart guy, but he worked full-time while going to school. It took him 10 years to finish his engineering degree. But as he went through the process, he figured out what it took to be successful in college. But this wasn't just for him, though. It was for his two brothers and me that would follow him into college. People like my cousin, who set the example for future generations, are critical to the success and advancements of our communities. When I started college, it was Ricardo who helped me pick out my classes, plan my schedule, and learn how to take notes. When I received a full tuition scholarship, which allowed me to become the first in my family to graduate from college in 4 years, it was because my cousin stressed to me the importance of finding alternate ways to finance our education despite our immigration status. When I was admitted to Teach for America, my junior year of college, which guaranteed me a meaningful, impactful job after graduating, it was because my cousin stressed to me the importance of creating post-graduation plans while still in college. And when I received a law school admissions test score above the 99th percentile, it was because Ricardo taught me the value in continuing my education. My success has been a direct function of Ricardo's success. He figured out who and what he was fighting for. Better life for him and for his loved ones. Similarly, when you figure out who you are fighting for, your values and success become an example for their values and success. And when you are the first in your family to do something great, like going to college was for Ricardo, you ensure that you're not the last. Langston Hughes asked us, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Does it fester like a sore? Does it stink like rotten meat? But Hughes also asked us, does a dream deferred explode? Explosions aren't just violent endings, but also beautiful beginnings. At the end of their life cycles, stars explode into supernovas that provide the matter for all future creation. fireworks explode into brilliant arrays of colors that herald in the new year. And at the beginning of time, the entire universe, compressed to the size of a pinhead, exploded and brought into existence all we know, all we cherish, and all we love. Ricardo taught me that through education, our dreams deferred, they'll one day explode too. Thank you.